Animal activists paid workers on live export ships to take footage of animals in poor conditions so they could leak the vision to the media. That's according to emails obtained by the Daily Telegraph from activist group Animals Australia, which allegedly reveal workers offered to cut off ventilation to make the sheep more distressed. Deputy Prime Minister Michael McCormack says it shows activists will stop at nothing to shut down the industry.
Why are so many of these vegans, so many of these animal activists coming out of Australia? Some of the most obnoxious people, some of the most hypocritical and laughable people on the internet. In the world of vegan activism comes straight out of Australia. You got Freely the Banana Girl, Joey Carbstrong, James Ashby, Durian Ryder. It's like Australia is just this hotbed of vegan degeneracy. And this is the perfect example of the hypocrisy, of the deceptiveness, and of the straight up evil of animal rights activism. Right? These people who want to extend human rights to animals and thus render the concept that we hold currently about human rights, thus render that essentially meaningless. They want to put human children on the same level as the cows, the crickets, the sheep, the rats, and the cats. This is just such blatant hypocrisy, right? Animal activists pay workers on live transport ships to get them footage of animals under stress. These workers offered the animal rights activists, they said, sure, we'll do it. Hey, we can even we could maybe close the windows so that they don't have ventilation. We can cut off ventilation to these animals so that they appear to be much more stressed out in their transport. So deceptive, but so characteristic of these vegans. All right, so one of the most prominent vegan hacktivists out there, fighting the good fight for the Fortune 100, right? Fighting the good fight for the investment bankers, for the NGOs, for the banks, for these huge corporations that are bankrolling the plant-based agenda. One of the most obnoxious people out there pushing this is Joey Carbstrong. Joey Carbstrong regularly visits farms in the middle of the night and cherry picks footage to show people who have no idea what they're looking at. He went into this pig farm where these pigs were just born, these newborn pigs, and he shows these newborn nursing pigs laying there on the ground looking helpless in the middle of the night. He walks in the middle of the night, flicks the lights on, and all these pigs who should be sleeping are then woke up by this bright light. And he goes around filming them, filming the little helpless baby pigs. He tries to make it seem like these little baby pigs are just starving to death. He finds a stillborn pig from a fresh litter of pigs. Most of them are nursing, and there's one of them that was stillborn. It looked like it was born that day. He tries to act like this poor pig had starved to death. This is the hypocrisy of these vegans. This is the hypocrisy of these animal activists. They are willing to harm and torture animals, like Joey Carbstrong waking these pigs up in the middle of the night, switching the lights on, and walking around pretending he's speaking on their behalf. Or these animal activists, these hacktivists, paying workers to stress these animals out and get footage so that they can put it online and they can push their agenda. Now, the group behind this is called Animals Australia. We began the countdown to the end of live sheep exports. Now, Animals Australia isn't just some ragtag group of stoners like James Ashby. Right? It's not just some ragtag group of stoners like James Ashby and meth heads like Joey Carbstrong. We're looking at a well-organized, well-funded group headed by bankers, lawyers, and corporate dominatrixes. We've got Lynn White. Lynn White here, who's the strategic director, the director of strategy. We've got Glenys Ugis, who's a behaviorist. She studied behavioral science, then turned her attention to animal protection. For those of you who aren't aware of behaviorism and the pseudoscience of behaviorism, behavioral science, behaviorism basically holds that there's no human soul, there is no human dignity, there's not even a reason to think that people have thoughts. They look at human beings as purely reacting to environmental stimulus. And behaviorism says that you can just control human beings through environmental stimulus. It's an extension of Pavlov's strategy for training dogs. That's the CEO. She's a behaviorist turned animal welfare activist. Legal counsel Shatha Hamadeh, who's also the legal counsel and part of this group called GAL, the GAL Project. Sounds nice, right, gals? That's the Global Animal Law Project, globalaниmalLaw.org. .org, that seeks to legislate animal rights. Animals' rights. Now, the hypocrisy of these people is so insane. It's so ridiculous. We've got Tim Vasudeva, who is a merchant banker, a former banker from the Commonwealth Bank and the Macquarie Bank, who decided to turn his life into a life of just giving, right? Just giving, just pure giving. Philanthropy for the animals. I would love to see the books of how much money this group, animalsaustralia.org, is receiving. Right? These people jet-setting all around the world with their pet dogs, fighting for animal rights. Now, Tim Vasudeva, who wants to push this vegan agenda of removing our ability to be engaged in animal agriculture, animal husbandry, right? Who wants to remove your ability to live a rural lifestyle where you actually raise your own animals. He's sitting there at the coffee shop with his two cute little puppies. Those are carnivores. Those are obligate carnivores that need to eat meat. They need animal food. You think Tim's giving them a vegan diet? You think he's feeding them that vegan kibble? Feeding them that vegan Cheerios? I don't know. But what is it, animal activists, animal rights activists, what is it that makes man responsible for being ethical, right? And what gives man moral agency, but not your dogs? Why is it okay if your dogs go and kill and eat a rat? Why is it okay if a cat goes and hunts mice? But we can't have cattle and use them for food. Now, he takes a middle ground, and he wants shelters to adopt a low-kill policy. So Tim wants a low-kill policy for animals. That's animal rights for Tim. Don't kill all the dogs. We want to have some as cute little statues to take pictures with. But then you've got Shatha over here taking a picture with her little animal slave. Her cute little slave. She's over there trying to legislate animal rights, giving human rights to animals. While this other guy is saying we shouldn't kill all the dogs and cats. Let's have a low-kill policy. So these same people who hypocritically pay to torture animals so that they can get footage that will push their agenda. These people at Animals Australia want to give rights to animals. And that sounds good, right? To the average bleeding heart. who doesn't actually understand the greater implications of this, it might sound like a great idea. The factory farming system is obviously flawed. This whole global agriculture that's destroyed local agriculture, or should we say global agribusiness, where big pharma and big ag work together, like Bayer Monsanto, skipping down the street hand in hand. These people in Animals Australia don't see a difference between sheep and people. They don't see a difference between stray dogs and people. They want to extend animal rights to all the animal kingdom. They want to give rights to all the animals. The rats, the cats, the crickets, and the cows all need rights. At the same time, these people are talking about low-kill shelters. Let's kill them a little bit less. We still got to get rid of those pesky animals. Let me ask you this. If these people were to succeed in this utopian vision of human beings not having to eat animals, even though we're obligate carnivores, we need to eat animal foods to be healthy, especially with the the basically weaponized corporate culture of food that we have now, where we're fed grain, we're fed soy, we're fed wheat, we're fed corn. Destroys our gut microbiome, destroys the biome of the soil, opens up our gut, opens up the blood-brain barrier, and allows loads of toxins to fill our bodies. They want us on that diet. Even if they were successful in getting this utopia where everybody's eating soy instead of meat, when animals and humans have the same rights, do you think Tim Vasudeva would adopt a low-kill policy for us human animals? Or would that low-kill policy only extend to non-human animals? I hope you catch my drift.